Let's talk about a better way to learn, a way to make things actually stick in your brain, for good. We're going to get into how you can study smarter, not harder, by basically hacking the system your brain already uses to remember things.
Oh man, you know this feeling, right? You pull an all-nighter, you cram for a test, you feel like you've absolutely nailed it, and then a few days go by and poof, it's just gone. It's got to be one of the most frustrating things ever.
But here's the thing, and this is really important. This isn't your fault. Your brain isn't broken. You're just accidentally fighting against how it's designed to work. The whole problem, it just comes down to timing.
So, to fix this, we've got to understand the enemy. And that enemy is something I like to call the cram and forget cycle. And believe it or not, it's all based on some pretty simple science. It's called the forgetting curve. And what it shows is that our brains are, well, super efficient. If you learn something new and you don't use it again pretty quickly, your brain just kind of assumes, probably wasn't important, and starts to clear it out to make room for new stuff. And this happens way faster than you think.
And wow, just look at how fast that drop-off is. I mean, after just one day, you've already lost half of what you learned. By day 7, you're lucky if you've got 10% left. This right here is exactly why cramming for a test on Sunday makes you feel like you know nothing by Friday.
So, if the problem is timing, well then the solution has to be about timing too. And this is where the hero of our story comes in. It's called spaced repetition, and it's a system designed to work with your brain, not against it.
Okay, the idea here is actually pretty simple, but it's brilliant. You basically review information right at the moment you're about to forget it. Each time you do that, it's like sending a little signal to your brain that says, hey, pay attention, this is important. And the next time, your brain holds on to it for a little longer. It's kind of like compounding interest for your memory. Small, regular reviews lead to huge long-term gains.
And here's what that looks like in practice. See how the gaps between reviews get bigger and bigger? You start small with maybe a 10-minute gap, then 24 hours. But as that memory gets stronger, the time stretches out to days, then weeks, and eventually even months. You're not actually studying more, you're just studying smarter.
So this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Well, the most time-tested, perfect tool for the job is the good old-fashioned flashcard. But there's a right way and a wrong way to use them. To make this work, you gotta follow 2 key rules. The first is called active recall. That's the little bit of struggle, you know, it's on the tip of my tongue feeling you get before you flip the card over. That struggle is actually what builds the memory. The second rule is atomicity. It's a fancy word that just means one idea per card. That's it. Keep it simple.
And here is Exhibit A of what not to do. Look at this card. All causes of chest pain. I mean, come on. How are you supposed to answer that? There could be dozens of causes. It's overwhelming. You can't really recall it, and it's just a recipe for frustration.
Now this is what we're talking about. You take that one monster of a card and you break it down into these nice, small, atomic cards. Each one asks a single, specific question. You can answer it in seconds, know if you got it right or wrong, and move on. This is what makes your review sessions fast and super effective. For a long time, using flashcards meant you had to be sitting down, focused with a deck of cards or an app. But what if you could take all that time you spend commuting, or doing chores, or going for a walk, and turn that into study time? Well, this is where audio changes the game. Think of these 2 methods as a team. Desk study with text is perfect for when you need to really focus, especially on visual stuff. But on-the-go study with audio is its perfect partner. It lets you review completely hands-free, turning all that dead time in your day into productive learning. It's not about replacing one with the other, it's about using both.
Okay, so we've got the theory. We know what spaced repetition is and why it works. Now, for the most important part, how do you actually put it all into action and build a routine that you'll actually stick with? First, let's talk about what to avoid. These are the traps people fall into all the time. They make their cards way too big. They just passively read the answer instead of forcing themselves to remember it. They skip a few days and break the rhythm. Their questions are kind of vague, and they only stick to one way of studying. If you can just sidestep these 5 things, you are way ahead of the game.
And this is probably the most important idea of all. You do not need a 3-hour marathon study session once a week. 10 focus minutes every single day will get you so much further. It's all about consistency, not cramming.
So here it is, a super simple plan you can start today. All it takes is 10 minutes. Spend about 5 minutes at your desk clearing out the cards that are due for review and maybe adding just 3 new ones. Then, later in the day, spend another 5 minutes doing a hands-free audio review while you're walking or washing dishes. That's it. It's simple, it's sustainable, and it is so powerful.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but keeping track of all those different schedules for hundreds of cards sounds like a total nightmare. And honestly, you'd be right if you had to do it by hand. But the good news is, you don't. Modern tools can automate this entire process. You just answer a card and then rate how easy it was to remember. Was it hard? Good? Easy? Based on your answer, the app does all the hard work, scheduling the next review perfectly. It can generate the audio for you, track your progress. Basically, it removes all the boring logistical work so you can just focus on learning.
So when you boil it all down, it's pretty simple. You don't need more hours in the day to learn more. You just need better timing. By working with your brain's natural rhythm instead of against it, you can turn a few minutes each day into knowledge that actually lasts. So the only real question is, what will you master with your next 10 minutes?